The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old and a 7.5-year-old.
Tripped myself up a bit. I think I usually say a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I had to try to quick math. Like, wait, how far are they apart?
What's last episode? What was that about? All right.
Yeah, most ages for me are like relative to my age. So my siblings' ages, it's like my age.
Yeah.
Plus or minus, and then I go up and down. I don't know it.
No.
Same with kids. I don't know if you had the same type of issue.
Yeah, that's how we keep track. That's how we know.
Yeah. You center yourself.
That's right.
And everything goes out. So, man, the news, I mean, it just dropped today, but it's the PS5, the UI reveal. That's been a big sort of, I don't want to call it stumbling block, but a topic of discussion because no one seemed to know what PlayStation was bringing to the table.
Yeah, nobody, and everybody was asking for it for a while now. I know I was. So it's always, exciting to see what, is the next gen. And when you have a tweet from Burger King saying, here's the new startup sound, you kind of worry, Trevor, a little bit.
Is that how they revealed the startup?
That was the startup sound. That was... Oh. It was at Burger King opening, the king himself opening up a paper bag with a Whopper inside of it with the woo or whatever sound is now the PS5. So
perfect. And that's a wrap.
That's
all
it.
We need to know.
That's it.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
It was good too. I'm curious too of your take on it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the video kind of live here on stream and talk about the features as they come up. With a focus on trying to do this for audio, of course.
Yeah.
But mostly because it's interesting in how they revealed what we felt were very quality of life features within their UI.
Yes.
This isn't about like game to the max, hardcore blades, let's get this going. And this is how this will improve it. And this is how you'll slide into this quicker. And this is how you can invite something or research something. As the holder of the only PS5 pre-order, Jeff, are you are you more excited now or about the same given this video?
I think I'm probably put at ease because, again, you're buying into something that I have not seen. It's like sight unseen. All right, let's go. Now I'm pleasantly surprised. So, yes, there's a lot of quality of life here that I think is good for us as dads.
Yeah, especially dads. So like I said, we'll try to cover them all as we're going with an eye to this as an audio format. So then it was got released, and I'll say like the first thing is trying to find it on YouTube. There's at least 4 or 5 channels that just co-opted it.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like, and here's a reveal, and it just played it verbatim, like here it is.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's just literally from the PlayStation channel. I'm surprised you're not like shut down
right,
for just stealing their content.
Yeah.
Okay, the first talking is actually fairly it's kind of an interesting new gold and black aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're digging that or not.
I'm not sold entirely on it. I mean, it kind of reminded me of PS3 almost. Those days.
It feels almost it's a weird kind of glam type of look to it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the smooth, silky gaming, but
it sure costs enough to have gold flakes. So
those are actual gold flakes.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, let's speed along here into it. It's like some of the subtle animations on the actual button itself are quite beautiful.
Yeah.
When you get into it. So you see the login screen, bunch of different faces. That's no different. But then there's the card UIs.
Right. Very different.
Now the card itself, this is a game. My favorite, the way he announced it too, is like, these little things we like to call cards.
Cards.
And you're like, okay, that's been around for a while, champ. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Now, why don't you walk us through and your take on in-game cards? I'm sure there's a better word for it. He had mentioned of it, but
yeah, he calls them activities, I think.
Perfect. So like this is like, I think kind of it started everything off for me where it's just like, that's a big quality of life type of improvement as far as jumping in. So this is why don't you walk us through how like activity cards work for a game?
Yeah. So what we see in the video here, he'll click on a activity card and it will have a progress number for a level. In this case, it's for Sackboy. But there's all these other cards that are set aside. There's, your latest screenshot. What is he clicking through now? Oh yeah, news feed.
Just news.
Yeah, so they have all that stuff. But the cool part was the levels, where you can kind of, again, click in and click out of different levels within the game and know your progress within that level, which to me is kind of mind-boggling to understand how the game can kind of be like, is that part of one save file that I get now? Like, could my kids theoretically have like 9 cards for 9 different levels, like set up ready to go for their favorite ones to jump into? It's just kind of a neat idea. But you see him jump in and he's immediately in the world again. There's that SSD, that clicky, we need to get right in there. No loads, no nothing. Again, as a dad, I appreciate that.
He started up the console, and as soon as he did, the game was pretty much running in the background.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah, perfect.
Now for these cards, for me, I'm thinking about some of my like Lego games with my son where he wants to play a level.
Yes.
And especially if he's already kind of played them before, and it shows, okay, well, this level, you've beaten it 100%. This one's 40%. This one's in pro, whatever. The thought that as opposed to get into game, go through game menu, find it, load it. Yep. It's actually part of your game, like the main UI when you open up PlayStation. It's like, this game is kind of preloaded, and here's all of the chapters or quarters or like activities to do within it.
Yeah.
Kind of it'll be interesting to see how that works with games and if that kind of changes development.
Well, yeah, now, I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but yeah, it will be a neat kind of feature for, again, your favorite kind of Lego games where they have all the different worlds set out right in front of you. So,
yeah, now this next part that we're seeing, so he's in this case, they're showcasing a new Sackboy game. And so, of course, it's going to be just to the brim with every possible feature.
Yeah.
That's the new Sony's PS5 is going to offer. This next one, where it's the objectives and how it helps and supports you with that, to me was just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know your take on it.
Yeah, where you can literally just click and get hints on what you need to do to complete a trophy or the progress in the level, or maybe you're stuck. Again, I'm just thinking maybe this takes away from being a gaming dad. I'm not sure. If your kid comes running to you with lots of questions, they can easily just go through the UI and get their own hints. So maybe they don't look to you all the time, but it totally helps me in a game when I'm stuck. So instead of searching, you can click through, and it's all, again, like a picture-in-picture thing. So you're not even leaving the game. You are viewing it as you're playing.
Yeah, so to lay that out again, so what's the exact thing that's happening here is he is playing the Sackboy game. He wants to get some achievements, and the achievements seem to actually be built into the UI, the PlayStation UI itself as well. Here's all the achievements you can get for this particular level that you're on. So there's that tight integration between the game and the PlayStation UI. And what that enables is, okay, here they are, click on it. Here's a video hint of how to get this particular item.
Yeah.
And then that plays, and then you can put it, which is one of the new features, is picture in picture. So now you have this video playing with a hint of showing you what to do, and then you're in game doing the same thing. It's just like, man, that's so cool. That is so interesting. I mean, a recent thing for myself is I'm still working through Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know. Old. By the time I'm done, they release the second chapter. Right, I'm well paced. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
But for me, there's been a number of times that I've been on my phone. Like, I'm having a difficult time going full dad mode as far as just beat the game at its base level and don't worry about the extras. Like, I can't really shed my old self as far as completionist. So in the one case, you have to collect 6 songs and deliver to a girl. And I'm having a hell of a time finding the 6th song. I am not going to spend the time. So the phone comes out, like search.
Yeah.
I'll actually say, I don't know if you caught it, but the shade he throws YouTubers is kind of funny. Yeah. He's like, maybe you just want the answer, and you don't want to have to go through a life story or 6 articles. And I'm like, ooh,
sold.
The gloves are off.
Yeah.
Because Because it is quite true, actually, because every time I want to get it, I have to go to a new page. I have to accept their cookie. I have to scroll through their stupid ads and their life story. And then finally, there's a video. And of course, the video includes, hey, everybody, smash that like and subscribe.
That's right, yeah.
Until 10 minutes in, finally, you get the 2-second help you needed.
Yeah.
So instead, like, built into the game, just at any point, hey, how do I do this? A video shows up, picture in picture.
That's right.
Damn.
And for those that don't want it, don't use it, right? Because a lot of people are going to be like, well, this hand holds a lot. Absolutely it does, but for us that either don't have the time or are stuck and don't want to search on our phones, or even kids or other people that are just having difficulty handling the game, maybe it's not apparent. That's perfect. It's right there at your fingertips, right? Snap it in, you're good. And then you can, like, again, continue enjoying your game. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Now, the next part's getting into, this is a good transition, because the next part's getting into is something that's not very dad focused.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, it depends on the dad. I think from current party, I don't think we do a lot of online gaming with friends. Maybe you do, Jeff. Myself,
Nope. Yeah.
So this next part is all about, hey, you can join a voice chat with all your PlayStation buddies and see what games they're also playing, and then you could hop in the game. So that's a no for me.
Not for us, right? Got it.
But that's not every dad. I would think there's got to be some dads who have a lot of gaming friends, and the interesting part is the voice chat, which that kind of existed before.
Yeah.
Screen share, so the other person could just share their screen, so you can kind of watch as you're chatting with them. You can see the game they're playing, and again, picture in picture. Yeah. You're playing your game, you're having a good time. He's kind of showing you something cool on his end, either maybe help or just, hey, check out this cool match. Jeff, you had an interesting idea with the kids, if you hang on to an old PS4, for instance.
Yeah, if the PS4 goes to another TV and my kids kind of inherit it, I can see what they're gaming with on the PS4 through the PS5 UI. And it's just kind of a neat thing, because with PS5 being backwards compatible, we could theoretically play the same game, and I could see him or help him along in something. And it's just like that extra connection, because otherwise we would just be either gaming alone or gaming all together in one room, and this kind of gives them their own screen and helps them discover their own games that they like. So it was kind of just a neat thing to have, and I could see it totally helping with, now that my kids are getting older and they actually have friends on PS4 where they get together often, they'll do that all the time. I could totally see that happening.
That's amazing. So jump in, and then that again kind of transitions nicely to, which makes sense because they put together this demo. So
of course.
Have a certain flow. So we mentioned with the cards at the top, though, that with the cards you can jump into different spots within a game.
Right.
So for something like Sackboy, it's like, okay, you've beaten this level, but it's only at 40%. Do you want to go back into it? What's going to come up? So there's 2 points coming up. I'll let the other one come around. This one is, your friends have started a group party in this game.
Yes.
And it's joinable, like it's open. Do you want to hop over into that? So you're currently playing, but you pop up your cards, and one of them now is, hey, these friends of yours are currently in this game. Do you want to, and you can join it if you like. Do you want to hop in? So just like bounce, 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 game.
Yeah. Yeah. And with the joinable cards, just again, because my phone gets just obliterated with PS5 or PS4 notifications on game parties my son is starting with his friends, and then you see the invites just pop in. I'm just hoping that solves that problem, if it's always there and joinable, you know what I mean, like it's just in front of his face. So
I hadn't seen this game. It's kind of interesting. Destruction All-Stars, which looks like Fortnite meets Destruction Derby for the PS1.
Yeah, kind of a bit of Rocket League in there too, right? Like the aesthetic of it is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So anyway, so they you're in one game, you get notifications, you're in a voice chat, all of a sudden another card pops up, you're able to join a game with a couple other friends. On display on this video was PS5's super fast loading.
Yeah, that's
like out of a game, in a game, like wham, 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 wham.
Yeah.
Which again, like it continues to I think what really dawned on me as I was watching all of this was that I've not been particularly excited about the next gen games per se. Like, oh, I can't wait for the new graphics. Because I'm still looking at PS4 ones. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this is not, I'm not complaining about any of this. Yeah. So I have a hard time thinking like, oh, I really need better graphics. But these quality of life improvements, assistance within the game, faster loading time for games. Yeah. That helps a ton. Jumping between a whole bunch of games and like fast states, awesome. Help in game for stuff going on. Picture in picture, which you got to know eventually would probably be if they ever connect it to the PlayStation television service.
Oh God, yes, exactly.
So they can stream some TV into. So if there's a game you're watching, but like, you want to do kind of like half and half.
Yep.
Like the quality, like this for me, yes, it wasn't.
Well, what about like Twitch, right? You could watch your favorite streamer as you play the game, right? Like right. Netflix, like I don't know, like there's a whole slew of possibilities if those companies kind of allow it, right? I just see it as a great community being built. So just stunning. Like I said, I don't know that I was particularly excited about. This is the one that I wanted to mention was that because I mentioned when I first saw the with a game that you have open, you can jump in. You can kind of quick jump. I want to call it that into a particular map or section or something like that. So this destruction, accelerated destruction, whatever it was. What's actually kind of a bit more interesting with that is it has the different match types. So for something like Fortnite or Rocket League or whatever, as opposed to open the game, load it, go through the menus, get into a match, the cards will be, okay, do you want to play a 1-on-1? Do you want to play a 1-on-3? Do you want to go into arena? And it's a kind of those fast options to get into the part of the game you want to immediately from the UI, that integration between system and game, which has not existed before. No, again, they're cutting down the time it takes to get into a match or get playing that game, which I appreciate. I think that is, all those seconds add up. Like when baby's down for a little nap, you have limited time. So all this helps.
The whole thing just spoke, like I said, I was not excited about next gen, but the thought of the improvement to dad gaming life from the system makes me all of a sudden very interested in the PS5 and almost kind of sad in a way about the Xbox. Because in all truth, for no particularly great reason, we now switched over to the Xbox video. I had been more excited about the Xbox. I think just because I like their online approach better. I really liked Game Pass, as I mentioned. I have a gaming PC, so the integration there. And because PS5 thus far was only just better graphics, wasn't as interested.
Yeah.
But seeing of the two UIs of what we've seen thus far, it kind of feels like the PS5 is really taking gaming dads into account. I don't know if you have well, I mean, you've obviously drinking the blue Kool-Aid, so
I can see where PS5 is going, and it's just like different approaches, right? So Microsoft, again, great streaming. They want you to game anywhere and everywhere. You might not even buy their hardware, but you can play through their Game Pass service, right? And I think their UI kind of goes around that. So they have to think all those platforms have to be consistent. So PS5 is like, this is the only platform this is going to be on. Maybe PS4 will get elements, but that's it. Where I think Xbox has to think, over a lot of other devices, and they have to make them somewhat consistent. Do you mean to get into their games? So all their tiling and everything that they have going on has to all make sense. But it's still very clean. Like, it's not like it's garbage. Like, it's just it's there. Minor improvements.
That's an important distinction. It's not. It's a beautiful looking UI. It's well designed. The quick resume seems further along on the Xbox as far as having like this particular demo we're watching right now. It's doing quick resume between like 4 or 5 massive titles. Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy, Yakuza was in there, and just you're seeing them switch between these games. With a bliss like the. In current world, I don't think you'd have one of those games loaded yet.
No, you wouldn't.
Let alone 4.
Monster Hunter World would take forever, let alone like just loading one. So, and at like just speaking of quick resume, like personally, I was like, well, when am I ever going to use that? But then again, thinking kids, they could have a game open, I could have a game open, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's not, because they always have to run down and ask me to see if I saved before they close my game, right? To start up their own. This would be a perfect solution, so I don't lose any game saves for good.
Oh man, that's come into effect recently because I keep thinking about, can I leave the PlayStation on, or like even in rest mode, because one of his games is on there, like Lego Batman,
right?
And if he decides to play that one, if I'm not in the room, for instance, or something, is he going to destroy my game first and then proceed to open it?
Totally.
So that actually became like a thinking point, like, like so much that, like, a few times I actually just shut down the PlayStation as opposed to leaving it in rest mode. I was like, I don't want to, like,
just in case.
I don't want to play. I do not have dad time to revisit this.
Yeah. So yeah, no, totally. I'm all for it. And I think you can even unplug the Xbox and it'll keep all that in memory. It'll just always have it available. So even when the power goes off, you'll still have the save states there, or the quick resume states.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, I want to do, like, give Xbox credit around anything else we're missing, but I do not, of anything I've seen thus far, I have not seen anything around that type of quality of life improvements. The UI is beautiful. The quick resume is awesome. I know they're integrating like a share button now into their controller, much like Xbox or much like PlayStation. But besides that, I don't know that they've really integrated so deeply with their games. And like you said, it probably comes down to their platform and its wide availability.
Yeah, and they've kind of gone through more of the maybe utilitarian aspects of a UI, where I saw them transfer easily a game from the expansion slot over into the internal SSD. Like that stuff we haven't seen how the PlayStation kind of handles that, because I know it's like deep in the settings in PS4 right now. So like stuff like that, it looks like they've kind of thought about, so you can quickly do that, quickly move your games in and out and keep them going. But yeah, it's still a great UI. I think some of it actually lends to more customization than the PS5 one, because I don't know if we're going to get wallpaper and themes anymore. It just looked like everything was the game, right? Like if you're not playing this game, you've got your next game and it's that wallpaper. So
yeah, be curious about the and one thing they did mention that makes me think about it is that PlayStation actually had some dedicated kid mode stuff.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that on Xbox specifically. I mean, you mentioned that your kids like to get into party chats because they have other friends who play PlayStation.
Yeah.
As best as I understood it, correct me if I'm wrong, you can actually dictate or allow that, like, who can they talk to on PlayStation chat. So you can kind of control a friend list to make sure they're not just talking to anybody and everybody. Did I get that right?
Yep. Yeah, you absolutely can. And you can even, set up child profiles if you need to go that route too. But yeah, you can limit their friends list, and you can limit to who gets to friend them. So if they're in a game, not everyone can send them friend requests. You can kind of lock that down too. So it's good. I've used it quite a few times, and even just the companion app, I can see what he's doing and who he's kind of with.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm seeing the friend stuff. So I imagine Xbox would have some of the quick jump in. It's got the achievements for the games in the UI of the system itself, so it does have some of it, but...
Oh, okay. They're jumping to the store here too, and that was another thing. Their store, again, I think is much like the PS4 store now is now, and the PS5 store is actually in the UI. So you're not jumping into this app anymore. It's in the UI. It's right there, which kind of, gets you gaming faster again.
Yeah, that would be nice. The current way of handling it is sort of such a bother to...
Oh God!
Now, I don't know about you. I have decent. I'm telling you, I promise you, I have decent internet, and somehow
it chugs.
It takes forever.
Yep.
And the weird one for me too is like I've been trying to get into the PlayStation Now. And I bought it like to try it out, but every time I go there, so for me to get into it, I have to. I'm probably messing this up, but the fact that I'm messing it up speaks a little bit to their failings.
That's right.
Because for me to get to the PlayStation Now games, as best that I've seen, I have to go into the store.
Right.
And then I have to go into then I have to go to PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
And then I have to... But then it proceeds to try to sell me ads as far as like, oh, you should buy PS Now. It's like, I did. I got it.
So leave me alone.
I go all the way across, and then I say, show me the games, and then finally I can play. But it's like that sort of asinine, like, hey, you should totally buy this. I'm like, I did.
I hate
Let me
that.
get the... But why is it's so buried amongst it? And unless I'm mistaken, like it's supposed to be a fairly decent service they're offering. But
yeah,
that has been frustration.
There's wrinkles there, and even like the TV apps too, right? It's got its own little thing it has to load, and Netflix is there, but it's like loading a different UI almost, and it takes a while, and it's just it's clunky. So
yes, I am. I tell you, I'm certainly torn. Those quality of life. So for myself now, like where it comes down to is, given such limited gaming dad time, right? Such limited dad time, the two angles that basically I think the systems are offering is Xbox is saying, hey, look, we're going to be everywhere. We're going to be on your phone. We're going to be on your tablets. You're going to have cross save. You're going to have a huge library with a really robust subscription service with Xbox Game Pass.
Yep.
So we're everywhere you want to be. And, the system's powerful, quick resume, lets you get in and out of games real fast. No worries about it. So your kid's got a game going. You got a game going.
Right.
You're on the road with your kids, so you bring your tablet. The two of you are picking right to where you left off.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good offering.
That is.
PlayStation comes on in, and they're saying, okay, this is a gaming console. This is the console. This is where it lives. This is great, and it's got the remote streaming stuff too. So give it that credit. It's not quite the same caliber as a Game Pass, but it has some streaming options. More importantly, you get into your game faster. You can get into sections of your game faster. It is fully integrated with the UI. There's picture-in-picture for what your friends are playing, what you're playing. There is tips and videos for the game you're playing of how you can get through it quicker. And there's like a pretty robust suite of parental controls. That's like the two angles I'm seeing, right?
Well, and then you have Nintendo crying in the corner, doing nothing with their UI.
Yeah, wiping their tears with dollar bills.
That's right. Yeah,
because they're still selling it on Switch so often.
I don't understand. Yeah, you just deal with their UI. Whereas here, we're just like, I kind of like this over the other feature. And then, Nintendo is featureless, I would say. But
I mean, they still sell Mario Odyssey for like $80. Like, what do you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mario Kart's never going on sale.
They don't need to change anything. They got their money.
Yeah, they need nothing.
No.
Hey, they got Ring Fit.
That's true.
Actually, we should have, at the beginning of the show, we should have mentioned, but shout out to friend of the show,
well, he's an owner of the Ring Fit now, and it's based on my recommendation. So I apologize if he doesn't find it useful, or it kicks his butt and he's just sweating bullets right now. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I have to apologize. Sorry, I'm blanking on the name. I am way too tired from memory. Up, Trevor, Google something. My goodness, where is he at? Justin. I thought that was Justin. Oh, Justin, terribly sorry. I hope we forget my name in revenge. But good friend of the show, Justin, who left us a great message a couple episodes back, tweets out a picture of him holding a Ring Fit.
Yes.
Just like Jeff. Like upon Jeff's recommendation. I've been tempted. That the way you described it really made it sound awesome. I was very curious about it.
Again, we're gonna have to sell New Dad Gaming sweatbands that you'll purchase with your new Ring Fit.
Gotta get on some of that Nintendo money.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, amazing. So with that, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Do you have thoughts on the new PlayStation 5 UI? Did it sway the needle or your purchasing decision on this? Are you going to maybe consider now PlayStation as opposed to Xbox given the UI? Are you already on a camp? Are you avoiding this generation altogether? We'd love to hear from you. Check out the link in the show notes from this one. You can leave us a quick message and we can get you onto the show, be it about the next consoles, gaming dad tips, or anything else gaming dad related. Again, thank you so much for listening. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, any of the other major carriers. Reach out to us on our Facebook page or at Twitter, New Dad Gaming. We'd love to hear from you. And otherwise, until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a PS5 pre-order and a 10-year-old and a 7.5-year-old.
What's the first part of the UI you're going to use when you fire up that console? What are you most interested in trying? Yeah.
I don't know. I would hope that it goes into like maybe one game that I can play. I don't have any games pre-ordered. It'll be whatever comes with it. So
it's gonna be on the menu looking. You're gonna be watching Netflix.
I'm just gonna look. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, that's right. I'm like, wow, this is worth it.
So glad I spent all that money. This Netflix looks pristine.
$600 Netflix machine. I got it.
All right. See you next week.
See ya.